having met Mike and being aware of his work, I remember back to the initial days of Madison when Act 10 was introduced. And we call them doing laps around Madison. It started off with smaller crowds that increasingly got bigger. And we were, screaming out, listen to us, hear our message. That's all we wanted, was just to be heard. I remember following John Nichols around when there was, they had like the tent set up. And if we found out that it was Fox News, there were always people there just kind of shielding them from the rest of the people. But John Nichols knew where the good people were. John Nichols was one of the good people. Mike Elk was up there, and that was all that we wanted. We just wanted to be heard. I remember religiously watching MSNBC, just seeing what message was getting out. And the crowds increasingly got bigger and bigger and bigger till we had, and they always underestimated the size of the crowds that we had, till we had, 150,000, 200,000 people there. That goes to today, and it's something that's being built. We saw after that Occupy Wall Street, Moral Mondays in North Carolina, and just things all over the country, just starting on fire. And one thing we noticed was that when we used our torch to light another torch of another movement, it just made everybody's torch brighter and stronger and more heat. And I think that's what a weekend like what's going on right now has to do. It's lighting a fire for everybody. And it's great to see actual, real-world activists take part in things like this. Not the armchair warriors. We got the Facebook fighters. This is actual soldiers right now, right here. And it's great to see.
The bottom line is about creating a circumstance where the people have the ability to influence politicians and parties. And so we got to go into the South. We got to return to the South in the spirit of Operation Dixie. We got to go back down there and say, we are going to organize people across this region, even if they erect barriers to us. Is that right, Joe?
Amen.
That's what we're going to do, isn't it? We're going to go to Canton, Mississippi, and we're going to march outside that Nissan plant. We're going to go to factory towns across the South, and we're going to organize, because when we organize the South, we free the country. Brothers and sisters, it begins in the South, and you gotta have information about what's going on. And that's why the work that Mike Elk is doing is the central work, not merely of telling us about a trade union movement. It is the central work of renewing democracy in America. This is how we undo the sins of the past and free us to move to the higher ground of the future. And so, brothers and sisters, this is the bottom line. I don't care how much you have given to Mike Elk and to Payday Report so far. I do not care what you have put on the table. You need to reach into your pocket and put a little more there, because I'm sick and tired of Mike Elk calling me and saying that he doesn't have enough money to go do his job. Brothers and sisters, you're not giving it to Mike Elk. You are not giving it to Mike Elk.
You give it to Joe.
Hey,
Joe.
Hey, Elk. Elk.
All right.
Elk.
All right.
You're not giving it to Mike Elk. You're not even giving it to Payday Report. You're giving it to a faith in a future. A faith in a future that says that it is possible to elect a working class teacher to the state legislature of New York State, and to have her say on the day that she was elected, we just set a thunderbolt of resistance across this country. It matters that a blue-collar trade unionist might take on the son of privilege, who is the Speaker of the House of Representatives in the United States. It matters that Brother Randy Bryce might run for the Congress of the United States and say that a worker has as much right to sit in this Congress as the son of a wealthy man. Right. Because, brothers and sisters, it's not democracy unless we have workers sitting in positions of power.
We do a whole lot of work voluntarily. Hours, meaningless hours of work, trying to organize our workers, trying to organize our job sites. And it's not an easy job. Like I said, we do not have collective bargaining. Collective bargaining would help us with our wages. It would help us with safety issues that we have. These are just some of the things that we fight. That's an ongoing fight. Getting collective bargaining passed in the South is like pulling eye teeth, you know, but we're still fighting for it, and we're going to continue to fight for it because we know that's the only way that we're going to make it. Legally, they say we don't have it, but technically, we found our own ways. So when you're in the South trying to organize, you have to turn over a new rock. You know, they close the door over here, we got to open up a new door over there and say, you say no, but we say yes, and we're going to continue to say yes. So we collectively bargain because we do have the opportunity to meet with our bosses, our managers, our congressmen, our governors, whatever. Anytime they open the door to let us come in and meet and confer with them, we are collectively bargaining for the issues that we're pushing. Pretty much that's all that I have to say. Darian is pretty much more active. He's more active than I am. I am the person that I'm going to do what I can do. If you tell me, Bonita, I need you to go here, I need you to go there, I need you to do this, I'm there because I'm passionate about what we do. And I'm passionate about being there for my workers. Not to mention I have family, children. Hopefully one day I have grandchildren, don't know. But just the same, they are going to work somewhere. And if I can pave the path right now for them to be able to make the funds that they need to make, for them to have safety on their jobs, for them to have say-so on their jobs. Because right now it's like we're slave workers for the slave master, and that's the way they think it's supposed to be. So we can get our members, because the chapter that I am the president of the Butner area chapter. We have about 300 members or more, but we only have like 5 or 6 core workers, the core people. So if we can get everybody out and let them know, we tell them, we are power in number. But I need for you to believe that you have the power. Stop being scared. Come on out, let's do what we gotta do. We can get things changed. But my thing is I'm gonna keep fighting to do what we need to do to make life better for the workers.
I put $50 in here. I want other people to put as much as they can. Some people will have more, some people will have less. But the bottom line is this, come on, brother, you're a working man, you got things to do here.
45!
You put some money in there? That's good for you. Who else has got a little bit of money? That's very good. I like that. But brothers and sisters, I want you to come up with that money, and I want you to put it in there. Hey, I see that he's got some money in his hand there. Look at that, there's a few bucks, we'll take that. Let's take a few more bucks. Whoa, I'm liking that. I'm seeing money move in here. This isn't the end of when you have to put money in, it's just the start. My gosh, it's a famous actress putting money into our there's another brother with a little bit of money. $20, I bet that means something to you, brother. Who else got some money? Who else got a few bucks? Oh my gosh, emptying out the state legislator's purse. What does that mean? I don't know. But brothers and sisters, we're gonna keep filling this up with money because the point of this is to raise money. But let me finish off with one core concept here. After World War II, when the United States occupied Japan and Germany, Americans helped them write their constitutions. The constitutions written in both of those countries outlines an absolute right to organize a trade union. We gave that right to other countries, but we didn't give it to ourselves. If we want to be a free and functional 21st century nation, we need to have a strong trade union movement. That trade union movement's going to come out of the South. And brothers and sisters, it's going to come out of the South because Mike L. reported on it for Payday Report. So give him some money, make this thing happen. Solidarity.